On a warm summer morning, in a quiet suburban neighborhood where children's laughter usually echoed across green lawns, a little girl named Lily sat on the edge of her bed, staring at the worn teddy bear that had been her only companion through nights of loneliness. Her bright eyes clouded not only by the struggles of her disability — she had been unable to walk properly since birth, her legs weak and fragile — but also by the heavy weight of living with a stepmother who never truly accepted her. And on this day, her birthday, which should have been filled with balloons, cakes, and laughter, she found herself instead dreading what was to come, for birthdays in her house had never been a celebration, but another reminder that she was different, unwanted, and a burden, at least in the eyes of her stepmother, Veronica, a woman whose beauty was matched only by her cruelty, her sharp words cutting deeper than any physical wound. And yet Lily still carried in her heart a fragile hope that maybe, just maybe, this year would be different, that she would be loved, cherished, and remembered. And so she quietly whispered a wish into the silence of her room, clutching her teddy tightly. Please let this birthday be special. Not knowing that the universe had indeed prepared something extraordinary for her, though it would come through a storm of pain first. And as she slowly made her way down the hall, her braces clinking softly against the hardwood floor, Veronica's eyes narrowed with irritation. Why are you so slow? Hurry up!" she barked, dragging Lily outside toward the backyard where the pool sparkled under the sun, its surface reflecting a false serenity. And while neighbors passed by smiling at the picture of a perfect family, inside the fence lay a darker truth, because Veronica had no intention of kindness today. Her heart hardened by jealousy of Lily's late mother, who had once been married to a man of great success and wealth, a man whose absence had left Lily vulnerable and unprotected, a man who, unbeknownst to them, was returning that very day after years of living overseas, building a fortune, determined to make things right, though his timing would be almost too late. For as Lily stood nervously near the water, Veronica smirked coldly and said, "Aren't you going to swim?" "Was just trying to teach her to swim," she stammered, but the cold fury in Daniel's eyes silenced her, for he saw not a nervous explanation but the truth, a calculated cruelty that nearly cost his daughter her life, and while Lily still clung to him, her tiny body trembling. He rose to his full height, dripping water, his presence commanding, and declared, "Enough. You will never come near my daughter again." The words so sharp they cut through the air, sending a chill down Veronica's spine. And though she opened her mouth to argue, the murmurs of the neighbors grew louder, voices whispering of police, of child services, of justice. And within minutes sirens wailed in the distance, drawing nearer, until flashing lights painted the scene red and blue, officers stepping out, questions firing rapidly. But the truth was plain to see. Witnesses, video recordings, and Lily's frightened testimony would unravel Veronica's lies. And as she was led away in handcuffs, her once smug face twisted in desperation, Daniel felt no triumph, only sorrow that his daughter had endured such cruelty under the roof he had trusted to keep her safe. Yet he also felt a burning determination to turn this moment of darkness into the spark of a new beginning. So as the officers drove away with Veronica, and the crowd slowly dispersed, he lifted Lily gently, whispering, "It's over now, sweetheart. You're safe. You're safe." Though inside he knew safety was not enough, what she needed was healing, love, and the certainty that she was never alone again. And so he carried her inside, sat her down, wrapped her in a warm blanket, and for the first time in years truly listened as she spoke in broken whispers about the loneliness, the cruelty, the nights of hunger, the birthdays forgotten, tears slipping down her cheeks as she confessed, "I thought you didn't love me, Daddy. I thought you left because I wasn't good enough." Words that pierced him deeper than any blade, for they revealed the scars his absence had carved in her heart. And holding her close, he wept openly, not ashamed, his voice raw with honesty. And oh, baby. I left because I was weak, not because of you. You are my heart, my miracle, and I promise you now, I will never leave you again." And though wounds so deep would take time to heal, Lily's small nod, her arms tightening around his neck, was the beginning of trust reborn, the fragile bridge between father and daughter slowly being rebuilt. And over the weeks that followed, Daniel used not only his wealth, but his heart to create a new world for her, transforming the cold, loveless house into a home filled with warmth, bright balloons for belated celebrations, toys carefully chosen, ramps and custom designs to make every corner accessible for her. A team of therapists and doctors dedicated not to seeing her disability as a limitation, but as a challenge she could rise above. And most importantly, his constant presence, his unwavering love. His hands holding hers every step of the way, and as Lily grew stronger, her laughter returning, neighbors marveled at the change, inspired by the story of a man who had returned not only as a millionaire, but as a father willing to sacrifice everything for his child. And yet the journey was not without trials, for Veronica, bitter and resentful, tried from her cell to claw back control. Hiring lawyers, spreading lies, but each attempt crumbled under the weight of truth and evidence, and eventually justice prevailed fully in court. The judge's gavel striking as custody was permanently secured to Daniel, the courtroom echoing with finality, Veronica's protests drowned out by the relief that washed over Lily, who squeezed her father's hand and whispered, "We won, Daddy." And he smiled through tears, replying softly, "No, sweetheart, you won. You won your freedom, your happiness, your life back." And with that victory came a new chapter of healing and growth. Daniel choosing not to let bitterness define them, but to channel every resource into giving Lily the brightest future possible, enrolling her in a school where she was celebrated, not pitied, funding research and programs for children with disabilities, using his influence to raise awareness, becoming not just a father but an advocate. And Lily, blossoming in confidence, found herself surrounded by friends who loved her for her kindness, her courage, and her unbreakable spirit, her dreams no longer limited by fear but fueled by hope. And one evening, months after that fateful birthday, as Daniel tucked her into bed beneath soft fairy lights, she whispered, "This was the best birthday ever." Though the calendar showed it was long past, and he laughed gently. "Every day with you is a birthday, a celebration. My little angel," kissing her forehead as she drifted to sleep, and stepping out of the room, he gazed at the stars through the window, silently thanking fate for giving him a second chance, vowing never to waste it. And dear listener, if Lily's journey from pain to triumph, from cruelty to love, has touched your heart, if you believe in the power of second chances, then stay with us, because this story is only the beginning. A reminder that no matter how dark the night, the dawn will always break, and love, when true and fierce, can conquer even the deepest wounds. So make sure you subscribe to this channel right now, so you never miss the next story that will inspire you, move you, and remind you of the strength we all carry within, because just like Lily, we too can rise, we too can heal, and we too can find joy again, even after the storm.